I, a tender young maid, have been courted by many of all sorts and trades, if ever was any. A spruce haberdasher first spoke of me
This
fair,
episode
but
of
I
Ladies
would have nothing to do
Unlaced,
with
sponsored
small
by
fare. My thing
an
is
anonymous
my
art lover whose continued contributions make episodes of Ladies Unlaced possible for all of our fans to enjoy. Now presenting your ladies of Chaste Treasure.
Hello, everyone! Meine Damen und Herren und non-binary friends. I am Fraulein Elsa von Berg.
I'm Lady Rosaline Howard,
I'm Lady Morgan of Spencer.
and together we are
Chaste
Treasure!
That we have
Thinking is hard.
face with us today. One that you
that?
haven't seen before. This one right here. This is Lady Deborah. Hi. And she is a fair virgin.
Wait, Elsa.
Yes,
Does that mean we get to pop her proverbial cherry?
we do.
I love maraschino cherries.
To an extent, she's
wait,
not
ladies.
officially in a Renaissance fair. We're close. This is when
I
Fair
have
Jason.
black cherry lemonade. Does that count?
Yes!
Actually, I made sure that Lady Deborah had a goblet to drink from today.
Cheers.
You're better than me. I'm just drinking from the bottle.
I have an adult juice box.
Everything's fair. And
You can thank
Tastes
Lady
like
Katia
cough
for this.
syrup.
Does it? Oh no! Oh no!
It's all right.
So-
I'll drink it anyway.
Oh, thank you,
Hello.
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
And
Hello.
Vicky.
Good evening.
These are some of our regular guests.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Ladies
I'm
episode.
just going to keep waving because there's
We
so many
are-
hellos.
Surprisingly popular. Like, not surprisingly. We have a lot of fans, which is always really wonderful to have.
Hello. Well, Lady
You know
Cleo.
about popular. Sorry, jukebox. I'll stop now.
Actually, Lady Deborah's been singing that song non-stop for the past 2 days. Popular.
I have.
Really? Are we just psychic?
She's
Or
been
psycho.
asking me to be Elphaba to her Galenda.
Yes.
Non-stop.
Nonstop.
That would be fun.
Wouldn't
I
it?
mean, why not?
I would like to see her float in the big bubble on stage.
I
I've
want to
always
see
wanted to
you
travel with
fly, Lady Elsa. I want to see you just
I
go
do
up in a giant,
too.
like rig of like.
Yes.
Actually, interesting fact, when I was in high school, I did a production of Peter Pan, and I was the understudy for Wendy. And we had an understudy
favorite
run.
character.
Yes! And there's a flying company, it's called Foy.
Mm-hmm.
And they make you sign a contract
It's a
that says
waiver.
only trained people will lift the people who are flying.
It's true.
And the person who was supposed to lift me sprained their thumb and couldn't actually do it for the rehearsal.
Oh.
That's awful.
So somebody else was lifting me. And there was no, actually, excuse me, I'm wrong. I mixed this up. My father was trained and he was lifting me. But somebody else, one of the other children, their person sprained their thumb. So they lifted the person too quickly and our cords got tangled and we were flying around in the air around each other in circles. And I hit a window.
That's awful. Oh, greetings, Tina.
Disaster.
Oh,
That reminds me, I need
Lady
to get in
Deborah
contact
spent
with
a good amount of
Flora.
time in Fort Myers.
I love Fort Myers. Woo!
no. So
It's a lovely
Deborah,
place.
It is.
I hear
Yeah.
that you are here to ask us some questions today about the
I
makings
am.
of a Renaissance festival.
I've always been I've always been interested in Renaissance fairs, but I never had anybody who went to them or knew anything about it, not like a close friend that I could ask questions of until I met Lady Elsa. And then I was like, well, this is an opportunity for me to get to know about Renaissance fairs. So
And since we've done so many episodes of Ladies Unlaced at this point, and actually Lady Deborah was planning on visiting, and originally this was supposed to be all together. We were all supposed to be in the same place.
It
at the same time.
yes.
But
There's a lot going on.
COVID.
The best laid plans. So we thought it would be interesting to bring an outsider, someone who has never been to a Renaissance fair, who knows nothing about our world,
Always wanted
to ask us the questions that intrigue her.
Hi.
So, Lady Deborah, What is your first question for
My
the ladies of Chase Treasure?
First question is very basic. What is a Renaissance fair?
Oh, Morgan, I
Ooh.
think you have to answer this one.
All right. So I suppose a Renaissance fair can count as any usually outdoor event that is focused around a time period, usually theoretically in the Renaissance. Now, there are some occasions where you will find something that is a medieval fair, which could kind of fall under the Renaissance category, but in a slightly different time period. So people wear different outfits, people do different things. There's a lot of Viking festivals out there as well. But the general Renaissance fair is just a celebration of the past through entertainment and a lot of artistry, I would say.
Wow, that was cool.
And one of the things you'll find at most Renaissance fairs is a lot of drinking.
I will drink to that.
So
Cheers.
Steve Wren has asked us, what beer is that? I'm sure that question is actually for you, Lady Rosaline, because you're the only one.
It's
With
not
a
beer
beer
at all,
type
because I
beverage.
don't like beer. It's Mike's Hard Black Cherry Lemonade,
Which tastes like cough syrup,
which
apparently.
tastes kind of like cough syrup, but like better cough syrup.
This is
like
like
a
every
good
time
stuff.
someone gives us cherry brandy and we're like, thanks so much.
Cherry brandy. Oh, this is
It's
When
awful.
Fraulein Elsa does not like beer at all, so I am drinking ye old H2O this evening in my style.
Good enough.
We needed to hydrate. Today I took Lady Deborah to pinch pierogies.
Yes.
It was
Ooh.
exhausting.
First, I'm having a lot of firsts this weekend. It's so far been an amazing trip. Amazing.
Wonderful.
What are you
so many
beveraging on,
cherries.
Morgan?
This is a black box wine called, and it's a California Chardonnay. And I honestly, not that I was
fancy.
much of a wine snob. I normally drink from Terra. A lot of people know that I drink from Terra, but it's actually not bad for a Chardonnay. I am shocked. And I know there was an article at one point. I think that like Trader Joe's actually does a lot of boxed wines in varying states that are really good. They get like highly rated and stuff.
I know we've got the simpler wines in a can. I mean, Trader
Yeah.
Joe's has. Why did I say we? I don't know why I said we.
Because Ladies Unlaced is unofficially sponsored by Trader Joe's.
Yes. I will
We
say
are
that
officially
is-
sponsored by a anonymous art lover, but
Thank
we
you
are
so much for your
unofficially sponsored by Trader
contributions.
Joe's. But if you would like to be a sponsor of Ladies
Yes.
Unlaced, you
Yes.
too can sponsor an episode for not very much. It's actually rather reasonable
There it is. Yes.
to sponsor an upcoming episode. So if you want more
Yeah.
details about that, please email us at chasetreasure@gmail.com. While today you have us three ladies, our next episode is the ladies of...
Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival.
Yes.
which one was that again, Rosaline?
Pittsburgh
The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival.
on October the 8th.
Yes.
Coming up soon.
Math.
Well, Deborah, aren't you curious why the three of us are doing this episode?
Oh, I am. Yeah. What are you doing? This episode? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That was the most leading thing. She was like, oh, I am. Yes.
Thank you, William Shatner.
I love it.
So the reason the three of us are doing this episode today is because Lady Morgan in particular had a question she wanted to ask, and I did not put that up there, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right.
What was it about? What it's like doing three festivals at
the
one
same time.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, and
So-
the three of us were the three team leaders at the three festivals going on at the same time 2 weeks ago.
Wow,
Few
that
weeks
is
ago,
a
yeah.
lot of work.
It was.
It is. And
I
I will say, and I'm very, very grateful to these two in particular, because it's a lot of weight off of my shoulders. I basically say, hey, Lady Rosaline, Hey, Lady Rosaline, can you handle the Pennsylvania Fair? Hey, Lady Elsa, can you handle the Maryland Fair? Cool. I'm going to go do something in Alabama. And then I don't think about what they're doing at all unless they contact me and say, hey, I have an emergency. Here's what's going on. Generally speaking, that doesn't happen. So they are completely autonomous after that point. So
Our biggest emergency this time was, Lady Morgan, we're running out of CDs.
Yes. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm
You
trying
both ran out of the Christmas CD.
Yes, there's no more left. It's just the ones that you have.
Oh,
I'm going to save you both.
Right. Ugh.
True,
We
Anthony
did also
Medici.
that.
It would be nice. We coming up in the next
Wanna
few
do
months,
it.
as the regular festivals dwindle down again, we will be probably putting together some episodes very similar to the way we originally did Ladies Unlaced, the way you watched them to begin with. But Fraulein Elsa will have to get back to editing videos.
Right.
So we need to think about that as we go into the winter months, how we're going to handle that. And perhaps we should have an episode for the ladies who missed their festival. When it got
Yes,
canceled.
I would love that if it was possible. But yeah, it's there's a lot going on. But it is very nice. Again, it is very nice to be able to say, all right, you two be autonomous and do what you want. And then, yeah, that's kind of
But
so far how I've had to run things without
the
having
goal
to
is
micromanage.
to have multiple groups who are singing the same songs. And
That's what I was going to
delivering-
ask.
Yes, so we have the same 40 some odd songs. We didn't do that many at Pennsylvania and at Maryland though, because we had new people coming in and learning different parts. So
And I will say that everyone gets the opportunity, if they don't like a song for any particular reason, no matter what that reason is, they can always say, you know what, I don't want to do that song. Because a lot of people have personal reasons for specific pieces that are like, hey, that triggers something in me and I'm not cool with that. Like, I don't want to stop that. So, all right, everybody gets at least one song that they could just say no to. So that eliminates,
Veto.
3 off the top.
That's
But
One
other than that,
person's
it is
veto or whatever.
a huge book of material that we can draw from at any
Aye.
point. And a lot of the songs have improvised verses or written verses, things
Aye,
that
it's
everybody can
over-
customize.
it's over 40 songs, and we had 27 in our rep at Pennsylvania, and most days we did not even get through all of them because Lady Margaret is newer to the group, so she didn't know as many songs. So we didn't want to put too much on her to learn too many. And I definitely wanted to learn one of the songs that we're actually going to show tonight from Maine. I definitely wanted her to learn that. So each group kind of has the independence to learn the materials that they think will work best for that team. So like there's a song called Queen of France, and I love that song, and I would sing that song 100 times a day. But because the lead track, so the melody track, typically sing the lead on it, or Lady Morgan will typically
Usually
sing
me.
the lead on it. The problem is Lady Margaret was the melody track, and she was already learning all of this new material, and Queen of France has all of the words.
It's
So there was no
word
way
heavy.
that
That and tubular boobular are the most wordy
Oh,
for
yeah.
one
at least
person.
that's short, and you can write tubular boobular much more easily in a book. But I could not, in good conscience, make Lady Margaret learn 27 songs and all of the
And
words
that
to
one.
Queen of
Yeah.
France, no matter
ask
how much I loved it. And I was like, nope, it's fine. We can.
how many Chase Treasure ladies are there
All right.
at any time? Like, do you have a certain number that you like to keep it at, or
So yeah, we have 19 members.
It's
I would say we have
19,
15
18 active.
Yeah, okay, 18 active. So
Well, actually, wait, are we
less
counting?
than that now,
Oh no, because Arabella's not active,
right,
and Isabel's not active.
Isabel's not really active. So I would say more like all right, 16,
What is that?
17?
16?
Something
ish?
like that.
okay.
16
We do have a few that are on the hiatus list and a couple that are retired at this point. But
Right.
typically we only send out 3 to a festival at a time.
Aye.
We have had a few special events. We did a Christmas concert in 2019 where we had about 11 ladies, because we tried to do the 12 treasures and it ended up being the 11
I
treasures.
know, it was so sad. Oops.
And we do occasional concerts like we did at New Jersey where we have extra ladies who participate in those. But in general, we're 3 at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
So that actually leads me to my next question. I think you kind of already answered it, but like, when one of the ladies gets sick and can't perform, can't do what they at their fair, what happens?
Hi. So my name is Lady Rosaline, and I got heat exhaustion on the first day of the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair.
No.
Yes.
Which does
I
happen.
did.
I mean, it is absolutely exhausting to be outside in those dresses.
I have been performing at Renaissance Festival since 2009, with only 1 year off in 2010. I've been in the heat. I've been in the rain. I've been in the gross, icy, cold, nasty. This is the first time I've ever gotten heat exhaustion. So what happened? I'll go through my day. So it was very, very hot and very, very sticky.
Was it hot?
It was, yes, it was hot. Hence
Really
heat
hot.
exhaustion. Thanks, Elsa. I look stupid, okay? So we're wearing our bodices, and it was supposed to rain that day. So I'm wearing my rain hat, which is leather and also does not breathe. And I've got long hair, and it was just so hot and sticky. And no, I was hydrating like the best performer ever. Like, I know, hydrate. So I was hydrating.
Hydrate, as I say.
Yeah, but not with booze. I was actually hydrating with coconut water and water. So, like, I was doing all the right things.
Great.
Doesn't matter after a
I was
point.
taking breaks between shows. But my problem was,
What happened?
first thing in the day, I decided to go watch Queen's Court because it, new Faire. And I sat
Fascinating.
right
Love
in the sun like an idiot. And so at the very top of the day, my body got very, very warm. And because it was so humid, I couldn't cool myself down. So I went through all 3 shows of the day. And after the third show, I felt like something was not right. My heart felt like it was beating through my corset. I felt very like lightheaded and just like, I just didn't feel right. So I tried to sit down, and then my stomach got upset. And then I tried to sit in the air conditioning, and my stomach got upset. And then I was like, I'm going to first aid. I don't know what's happening. You did tell me to drink, Tommy, and I did.
And you
So I went to first aid, and I went up to the security guy, and I said, excuse me, totally coherent. Excuse me, how do I know if I have heat exhaustion? And he said, well, firstly, you'll wear something like that. And I was like, oh, thanks.
You wear
so much. Like, this is my choice. I'm working here. And then he's like, well, and then you might feel a little lightheaded. Your tummy feels a bit queasy. And I was like, eh. And he's like, yeah, you got it. Go in there. And I was like, all right. So I went into the air conditioning and sat down, and he ripped open my bodice, and it was like, ah! And then I put ice upon the back of my neck, and as soon as they did that, I vomited. It was disgusting. I was on the phone with my husband. I'm sorry, honey, if you're watching.
Oh my God.
And it was horrible. We were supposed to do finale that night. I texted our contact, and I said, listen, I could probably make it through it, but I'm kind of vomiting in first aid right now. So if you don't need us, that would be great. And she was like, no, it's fine. I was like, thank you. So I found the ladies. I said, all right, I'm going to drive all the way home because I feel like sleeping in my own bed.
Wait, and where was this? Where was this
So
fair?
this is at Pennsylvania.
It's at Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's in
So
my
about
area.
2 hours from most of our residences.
Okay.
Thankfully, yes. Thankfully,
Hour
this
and a
wasn't
half, hour
happening
45.
in Alabama or Montana or Tennessee
no,
or
thank
any
God.
number of other locations that are very, very difficult to get to.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this was in a
So,
place that we
thank
were
God this was like near my house. So
Yeah.
It does
need
just
to bought us for yeah.
That was a good
so,
one.
It's called a corset-gasm.
I had a corsigasm. So I drove
had
all
that
the way
happen
home,
too.
and I was like, hey, honey, I don't feel well. I'm just going to and I was like, I need to eat something, but I don't know what. And I don't even remember what I ate, but like right back up it came, and I was like, oh no. I was like, there's no way. I have to drive back out there in the morning. I feel horrible. I have no food in me. And
Tommy, we can chat.
and I have like heat exhaustion, and I feel horrible. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was texting Lady Catherine, and I was like, I don't know what to do. She was like, call Lady Elsa. She's awake. I just talked to her. And so I texted her, and I was like, Lady Elsa, I'm sick. You're not doing Maryland until next week. Do you want to cover for me and get the money?
I love that she said, do you want to come?
Do you want to? Yes.
Can you?
I
just
don't
wanna
recall this
insert-
is how it happened.
I just want to insert very briefly. All I get in this entire thing, because I don't know what's going on. I'm in Washington State at this point.
It's
I'm
true.
driving
You were
back.
still in Washington.
Yeah. And all I get is so I think I got a call from Catherine that was said, so everything's fine. But Elsa's going to sub in for Rosaline because she has heat exhaustion. And I said, all right, can you tell me what happened? And she gave me a little rundown, and I was like, all right, and do you feel confident with the show? And she said, yes, I think we can do it. And I said, all right, then go ahead. And that's all I got. That was it. I was like, all right. Because
Pixie.
That's
I think it is
amazing.
weird, yeah. But
I feel
Well,
like I texted you too after I got
we
the
text so
confirmation.
much. I
Truthfully,
can't tell how many times we've actually contacted.
I have
each
to give
other.
Lady Catherine credit, and I do believe she's watching this evening. She kind of orchestrated this. She had a feeling that this was going to happen. So she had texted me, and she was like, and I already knew that Lady Rosaline was not in the best of shape. And she was like, so what are you doing tomorrow? And I was like,
You're going to be performing in Pennsylvania.
And it's true. But in regards to this, yeah, it's exactly what I was about to
Speaking
say.
of
Thank you for
Pennsylvania,
saying that for me, Fraulein
Pennsylvania.
Elsa. Because we will come back to this conversation, but it is time for a song. In fact, it's way overdue for
Let's
a song.
show the one from Pennsylvania.
And that's what
I
I
would love to see a song.
Before we actually begin the song real quickly, Deborah has never seen us live in performance. She has only seen our online shows. So this is her first experience, with the exception of a little bit of YouTubing in the car, watching live performance.
I'm so excited.
These are the ladies from the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair of this season: Lady Catherine, Lady Rosaline, and our brand new lady, Lady Margaret, in only her second appearance with Chase Treasure.
Hi.
So,
Hi. So
take
this
it
is
away,
our-
backstage manager.
Yes, but the names have been changed to protect the Legos. Black Agnes was a Scottish lass, the bonny noble bride of a man who went to jail for his country's pride. Agnes watched the enemy bring an army to her wall, and down she cried, for Agnes' sake, I'll die before I fall. Up in your kilt and down your arse, you make me bloody sick. Your family tree's a cactus cause you're such a friggin' prick. I hope you step on Legos and I hope your goldfish dies. I swear to every one of you I'll be the bonny prize. Ba-da-da-dum, dum, ba-da-da-dum, dum. I wish a horrid pestilence upon your friends and kin. I hope that every time you wake up your gas slips right in. I wish you more hair up your nose than the rings upon your head. I hope you shout the wrongly when you take your wife to bed. Oh, walk in your kilt and down in your arse, you make me bloody sick. Your family tree's a cactus cause you're such a friggin' prick. I hope you step on Legos and I hope your goldfish dies. I swear to every one of you I'll be the bonny prize. Ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. You'll never get any hearing, boys, so give up your crusade. We'll throw right up a chicken's leg and bring the union laid. You smell like diarrhea and you're such a freaking cream. It's nice you grew up there to make it easier on the sheep. Up with your kilt and down their arse, you make me bloody sick. Your family tree's a cactus cause you're such a friggin' prick. I hope you step on Legos and I hope your goldfish dies. I swear to every one of you I'll be the bonny prize. Ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Black Agnes was a Scottish lass, the pride of all the land. The enemy threw down his sword and put up both his hands. All right, till lads, the jig is up. We made the most of it. We sharpened up our swords' voice, but she sharpened up her wit. Now, ladies, Agnes, but the names have been changed to protect the Legos. Black Agnes was a...
There we
There
go.
it goes.
I was like, the names are
Overzealous
changing.
operator in the background. Thank you so much for being. It's all right.
That was awesome.
Yes, we do have a different stage manager this evening because typically it's one of the three of us. Lady Rosaline's mother, with much thanks to Lady Rosaline's mother for
Hi,
work helping
Mom.
her Cherry too, her stage management for Ladies Unlaced Cherry. Speaking of stage
So
managers,
much popping.
our amazing stage manager from Maryland, September Love, has been responding a lot. We called her Love. Yay!
Oh, that was September one.
That's who that was. All right.
What
That's
Yes, that
one.
was Love. That was
That
our
was
love.
Aw.
Falling in love with love is not falling for make believe. It's falling for September
Here,
Love
I'll put-
Rebel.
I
Yes.
got it. I got it.
That
There you
being
go.
said, yay!
Hi,
We love you too.
September love.
I
Hi.
wanted to mention real quickly before I know you have another question you were anxious to ask, but I wanted to mention real quickly that we were lucky with the one in Pennsylvania because I could sub in. There have been times where that has not been available, and we have the show must go on in many ways. Now, in Oklahoma, I ended up with a horrible migraine our first year and was literally, before I went to the festival, vomiting on the way to the festival. And I spent the entire day, anytime when I wasn't performing, hiding in a closet called Area 51 with the lights out. And the other ladies went off and did things, and they actually had to do a couple special appearances without me. We have performed with only 2 ladies if we must.
Yes.
In an emergency situation.
Yeah. And that's happened for other things too. That like, so for us, sometimes when I've done Pittsburgh, because I have asthma that's usually activated by heat, I have had occasions where I've said, look, I can't do the parade today. I just can't walk anywhere because I'm too, I'll cause myself an asthma attack. So we all try to take care of ourselves. There was one time where Lady Catherine was 7 months pregnant by the end of Pittsburgh. So we had to make sure that she was well hydrated and that yeah. Oh, that was a fun call. Was she said, I had already offered her the position. She said, all right. So like 2 weeks later, she's like, so I need you to know that I'm pregnant. I said, that's great. She said, so by the end of the contract, it will be very noticeable. And I said, you know what? I'm not, like, it's not workplace discrimination. I'm not going to say like, oh, you can't perform because you're pregnant. I said, do you think you will be comfortable enough to keep doing the show? And she said, yes, I have every confidence that I'll keep performing. And I said, all right, then we're going to do it. But yeah, we would do Cuckoo's Nest and she'd be like, and he left me with the makings of a young cuckoo. And she'd actually put her hands under her stomach and you would see the audience kind of go, like,
well, and sometimes in the garb, as Lady Rosaline mentioned, you get so hot, you get overheated. Lady Gwendolyn at Maryland one day got so overheated that she actually cut her dress apart and was in Vixens on Garb inspired garb. She was wearing leggings and her bodice and her chemise. She looked like she was going out to be in like Three Musketeers and fence with someone, and that was what she looked like for the rest of the day. So there's so many different things that can happen in a live show and can happen to our costumes, which leads me to your next question.
Okay, I'm still stuck on pregnant in a corset.
Well,
she was in a corset then. That was yeah.
She was in a different, like an umpire waisted. What is it? Italian style garb?
Yeah, it's a little bit more Italian. So it kind of covers your boobs, and then it's all sort of flowy from there. So you really couldn't tell. Mostly she looked like she was wearing a curtain, so you really couldn't tell when she was walking around that she was pregnant until she actually put her hands under her stomach, and you would see just exactly how pregnant she was.
That's amazing.
It was fascinating.
Girls rule the world. Anyway,
rule the world, girls.
I wanted to ask, it was kind of costumes, but I know that they're heavy and they look amazing. The hats, the accessories, the actual dresses, so amazing. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm just so like drawn to Renaissance fairs. But I wanted to know, what is your appeal? Like what makes you want to do a Renaissance fair? What is the appeal of Renaissance fairs to you? And don't say because
it's a job.
It's a job.
You go first, Morgan.
All right.
I know you have the deepest reason.
So I started going to Renaissance. This is hilarious. I started to go Renaissance fairs in 1986. No,
when you weren't
87.
born yet.
No, 87. No. I'll own my age. I'm 37. So in 1987, my parents took me to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair for the first time. And there are pictures of me being 3 years old and my sister and I in strollers rolling around on the grounds, which were not paved at that time. It was just all gravel. So, and that was in July, which was awful. Don't do Renaissance fairs in Pennsylvania in July. It's a terrible plan. Do them in Maine. I had kind of wanted to do professional acting sort of off and on. I'd always been a singer for a very long time. And then I had a couple of unfortunate bouts with cover bands. For a lot of different reasons. After a point, I was like, you know what? I like performing Kelly Clarkson, but I don't necessarily like people throwing bottles at me. So I would rather, That was a whole thing. I would rather do something that was more entertaining. So then I started to do professional theater. And what I love about Renaissance fairs is that you don't have to do the exact same show every time. And that was one thing that I really capitalized on when we started doing these performances, is that everyone has a specific character and everyone has the book that they can do. But there's no order. There's no, half the time, there's not a set list, because you just sort of call out like, ooh, what are we feeling today? Or, hey, let's avoid this song because I can't hit this note today. So we're going to do something a little bit different. Everybody gets to have their personality. Everybody gets to have these sort of improv moments, which are really entertaining. And I love that about Renaissance fairs, that it's never, even if it's the same scenario every day, it's never the same thing twice.
Hi. Can I go next? So in 2009, I auditioned at I believe it was the SETCs or the UPTAs. I think it was the UPTAs.
I did UPTAs too.
So I auditioned at
United
the UPTAs.
Professional Theater Auditions, for
Yes.
people who don't know what they are.
And
so I
Southeastern
auditioned.
Theater Conference.
Yes, I think it was the UPTAs. So I went to the UPTAs, and most of the theaters I got called back for were children's theaters. Surprise, surprise, because I do a lot of children's theater as well. But I got called back for the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, which I found very amusing since I lived an hour and a half from the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. So I went to my callback, and we had like fake stage combat with John Williams. And if any of you know John Williams out there, you know he's awesome.
Not the composer.
Not
No,
the
no, no.
composer.
And happy birthday to John Williams as well. It was just his
Yes.
birthday very recently.
So we did like this fake stage combat and some improv games and all this jazz. And I had a blast and thought nothing of it. And then I went home and they offered me the job as a washer well wench, not to be confused with the washing well wenches. So I got hired at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, and I did it and I enjoyed it, but I did not enjoy living at the fair site. I much prefer my own space and being able to go home and stuff. So being in an independent act like Chase Treasure is great because I can still perform on the weekends, but I get to go home and be with my husband. But the thing I really like about performing with Chase Treasure specifically, not necessarily performing at Ren Fairs, is that I've noticed my ear has gotten better for harmonies. I've noticed my improvisational skills have gotten much better. I can improv through almost any acting situation, which is really amazing because before I did Ren Fair in 2009, I wouldn't say my improv was bad, but it was definitely a muscle I wasn't used to using. And with Chase Treasure, now I'm completely like, I can talk in front of a crowd, I can make stuff up, I just don't even care. And I have zero filter of caring. And, you know, sometimes you throw a joke out and it sticks. And sometimes you throw a joke out. And I say 9 times out of 10, my jokes are horrible. But
I would agree with you.
You
that
could
one
do
good
so much
one.
better.
Yes.
So much
So
better.
I have
you're
some
good
serious
at
pen
this.
skills. And that's gotten better too. And
It has.
yeah, it makes you have to be really able to be fluid in a situation. So, and think on your feet and, you know, just be willing to improvise. So if something goes wrong when I'm doing a normal play, I have no problem. I can improvise a situation and like kill time and pick up the microphone that fell on the stage and pick up my hat that fell off and pick up my wig that fell off. And I just make up something funny about it and move on. And it's fun. So it's really amazing the skill sets that you learn from performing at something as silly as a Renaissance Fair.
So for me, it's
I
that
dragged
woman
women
right over there. It's her fault. Right there. Lady Rosaline.
Hi.
So I never had any interest in performing at Renaissance.
Sorry.
Wow. What?
I've
odd.
slowly, systematically hired almost all of Rosaline's friends. Over time, I'm like, hey,
I
But
have a lot of talented friends.
you do.
I
you
have been
really
to Renaissance festivals. I went once in Gob when I was in college. One of my good friends lived out, or my roommates lived in Harrisburg. So I went as a Romani and I had a big flowy skirt and a peasant shirt. And I enjoyed it that time. But then the other times I went back, I went to support Rosaline primarily. And I enjoyed myself, but I always went as a civilian. I was dressed in T-shirt and jeans and yeah, whatever like that. I didn't understand the people coming in garb at the time. I really was an outsider. I felt like I was an outsider. And then Rosaline got me to audition, and I got into the group. And I realized once I put the garb on, that it created a completely different experience. And the fact that I get to be a character and live in her for an entire weekend each time, I get to be Elsa. And Elsa is literally just me amplified.
Yes.
And
Most of our characters are just me amplified.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. And it gives me an opportunity to do things that maybe Eleonora doesn't have.
Who's Eleonora? Who's
This
that?
other person, that's the civilian, that she doesn't necessarily have that she has barriers about doing.
Right.
And Elsa has no compunction. She does everything that Eleonora would like to do, but doesn't. For example, courting Dick Burbage at the Oklahoma Renaissance Festival, chasing him down and having him eat spaghetti off her bosom.
I will say this is sort of like what Lady Catherine, who has joined us in the comments, always loved to say, that you pick sort of a lane and then you steer into that skid.
Yes.
You just, all right, I'm going to be Goth Barbie this week. So I'm like, all right, other than I don't wear black lipstick. Other than that, I'm like, I'm going to wear as much black clothing as possible, even though it's 90 degrees. And I'm going to like make my eyes really dark and look like Sushi and the Banshees. And this is what I wanted to do when I was 13, but I never felt comfortable with it. And my parents would yell at me and they'd be like, you're wearing too much makeup, take it off, and that kind of thing. And I was like, heck with this, I can do like everything I wanted to. And it really is, I think, for all of us, it is just the person we wanted to be maybe growing up, or the person that we've always wanted to present, just cranked up to 11, just the most you.
Morgan, speaking of that, do you want to show a clip of Goth Barbie singing down at the Alabama Renaissance Fair with your friends?
Absolutely.
I would like to see that.
Yes, this is myself and Lady Katia and Lady Agnes performing, I think it is Johnny Get Off the Goose.
It's Johnny Get Off the Goose from ALMFF. Take it away, stage
Bit of a
manager.
fairy tale, but we need some assistance from the crowd. So we need people to do animal noises. So, who said okay? You did? All right. Can you do the sound of a goose? Perfect. Absolutely. So anytime we point to you and talk about a goose, we're going to point at you and you're going to make that noise. It happens a lot. A lot. This is what you signed up for. No, you're good. All right. Who else? All right. Well, why don't you be a donkey? Donkey! Make it. So anytime we talk about a donkey, we'll point at you and you make that noise. All right? Who else? You got one? All right. Be good. Why don't we do cat? Perfect. So anytime we talk about a cat, we'll point at you and you make the cat noise. Oh dear. That's a strong choice, Lady Morgan. It's an OSHA violation. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Need one more. All right, you. All right. We need what's that? A rooster. A rooster. Perfect. Wonderful. Love it. So anytime we talk about a rooster, we're going to point at you. All right, so let's do all of this. Goose. Cat. Donkey. And rooster. Perfect. Love this. This is going to go. We're about to offend everyone. Yay! This is all her idea. It is. Blame me. All right, here we go. I saw this one? You do. I'm good. All right. So this is called, you'll find out. Well, Johnny worked for Jack, the richest man in all the county, who come down from that beanstalk, as you've heard in tale and song. Jack's mother and himself were fit to live the life of Riley, but if you think it ended with the giant's death, you're wrong.
Well, their farm it grew and new hands came, but Johnny was the strangest. After 6 long days into the grave, the giant's corpse was sent. And Johnny went out to the pub to celebrate his wages. And all throughout the town you heard the following lament.
Here we go.
Johnny, get off the goose for it's the ass that you'll be wanting. Johnny, get off the goose, for it's the ass you need to ride.
Oh, well, that was
What
unexpected.
happened?
I guess.
Oh, that
the
was
whole
so fun!
thing
That was so much fun!
Oh, that's a shame. That's all right.
Aw.
I don't know. Mayhaps the entire video didn't download.
It's
Elsa didn't
possible.
do her work.
You know what? It's understandable. I don't mind. And that was a
I'll be
very
right back.
Bad Elsa.
So you see moments where I have my fan and I'm like smacking it and I have it like wide and that's because we were completely covered by insects.
Oh.
Normally this festival happens in March and they've actually reached out to us about performing in March of next year. So hopefully we'll get a contract for that soon. But in the meantime, we were there in September and apparently that is love bug mating season.
Ew.
Oh.
And these bugs are not very big. They're small. And they attach themselves at the thorax end, and then they fly around together, and basically they just mate all day long until they die. And they like lay eggs at some point, and then they just disappear. These things were everywhere. There were thousands of them all over me, all over everybody else. It was disgusting. And so when you see me with my fan just being like, whack, 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 like I'm not just like fatting myself aggressively. I'm trying to hit these ridiculous insects out of the air. And at one point, in a very amusing moment, yes, yeah, actually, that is a thing. Coach Treasure is really big with the 11-year-olds there. So at one point, a bug, or a set of bugs, I suppose, flew down my chest. And Lady Katya had to dive in and grab them. So she goes in both hands into my chest, starts digging around in my bodice to dig out this bug and throw it in the other corner. And I was like, well, that just happened.
I bet it made for a funny bit though. With
It
her,
was
with her
brilliant,
hands
yes.
down your boobs.
Yeah. I will
Love
say
bugs are the absolute worst. And
Yeah.
just as a warning, if you're ever driving during that season, they are impossible to get off of your windshield. Both Lady Deborah and I worked in Florida during love bug season. And if you're driving and you have to literally go and like scrape them off afterward, windshield wiper fluid just makes them spread and get.
It's awful.
They're the
I will say
worst.
two wonderful things about that particular festival, which I absolutely love. That in the middle of Alabama, it is in Greenville, Alabama. It is really in the middle of the state. It is a bastion for queer energy and specifically trans people. There are a number of people who are trans that are part of their management team and part of their volunteers and things like that, which is wonderful. And in addition to that, it's just they are really welcoming to practically anyone. So it was just fascinating to me. It's like there's an 11-year-old here, and we were like, "All right, are you good with this?" And the parents were like, "Yep, we're good." And I'm like, "All right, we're gonna keep doing this thing." So
Oklahoma and Maryland are also very open to people of all backgrounds. It's absolutely amazing.
At
we saw that a
Pennsylvania,
lot
we
when
got
the three of us were in Maine too.
we got a special in Pennsylvania this year. There was a group of non-binary people walking around and giving out little blue feather pins to acts and people on cast that were LGBTQ friendly. So we all got little feather pins. They were very accepting. Yeah, up in Maine, I was walking my dog by my Airbnb, and I walked by a person mowing their lawn on a riding mower, and they were like, "Hello, you can see my cat in the window, and your dog's really cute," and all this stuff. And I was like, "Okay, cool. I don't know who you are. I'm gonna keep walking my dog." And they were like, "Come over here. Are you from here?" And I said, "No, I'm just staying up at an Airbnb with my husband. I'm doing this rent fair." And they were like, "Cool. My name's so and so, and I'm trans." And I was like,
Get to the point.
"That's awesome." And they were like, "I think so too." I was like, I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question. It's basically this, but like you get to meet so many people. You travel like to all different states and all different places, and you get to interact. How has it been with COVID? And I mean, your shows seem to get a lot of energy from the audience. You back and forth, you interact with them.
Well, we started this.
Yeah.
This was why we started doing this in
Yeah.
April of last year.
Last year, the only festival we did was the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival, which I just finished up. And myself, Morgan, and Catherine did it. And last year, it was before we were all vaccinated. So pretty much everyone was required to wear masks backstage. The performers did not have to mingle, which was very different because they're usually a very interactive festival and they want to talk to everybody and be out all the time. And they were like, nope, just stay backstage, be masked, stay away. So we used to do a lot of interactive songs with the audience. Roll Me Over, as that person just mentioned.
Pump Away.
Follow the Band. Scotsman.
And we would bring people up on stage for certain songs as well. And we've had to adapt.
So pretty much we haven't done since then any of the interactive songs where we bring people up on stage, any songs where we went out in the audience. And last year, because we were not vaccinated yet, we even stayed very, very far away from each other on the stage. So there's a video of us doing, Sweet Violets last year. And we're just so far away from each other.
We're all like 10 to 12 feet apart from each other.
God we were mic'd, or else we wouldn't have been able to hear a thing.
Well, that show Pennsylvania is very exceptional in that because they mic everybody. They have a stage manager at every single stage. That is not common at most Renaissance fairs. They might have a stage manager for the entire realm, or they might have one person who does sound, kind of. Or
Maryland's the same. They actually have stage managers at most of the stages.
I love that.
So,
but yeah, we do miss doing a lot of those very interactive, like Rosaline and I would throw our skirts over people's heads. We would really get in on people. We'd sit in people's laps.
I had people
many faces in this bosom. Many faces. Yes.
Oh yeah, and my face has been very close to people's sporins. There's been a lot of sporin biting, petting of heads.
She doesn't know what a sporin is.
A sporin is the thing on a kilt that's like their man purse that sits in front, blocking their bits.
Oh wow, your face was there? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like a pocket, but it also stops the.
Deborah's getting very excited.
It's a fanny pack. It's like a.
It is.
Oh, is my husband's around?
So it's a fanny pack, but it's also like it stops the kilt from coming up.
It is. Hold on.
People. Okay. The number of people
finding a sporin for you.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's a shame that her husband is not dressed in his garb so that he can wear the sporin for you.
So the number of people who will wear kilts but not wear this key piece is astounding. And it basically just means that when they sit down, they flash you. So whatever they're not wearing, that you get to see splayed out on a bench with a lot of splinters. And most of the time, I'm just like, I don't know if you're going to survive this when you stand up. Good luck, man.
First pub crawl that we ever did at Puff. Man seated, not wearing one of these. Hello, everyone.
Oh.
But my face has been up against them, and there's been a lot of
There's quite a few Scotsmen that do like to wear it the traditional way. The kilts the traditional way.
I gotta get to a Ren Fair. I'm just saying. I gotta get to the Ren Fair.
We had an experience in Maryland with one of our fans who, during a Brave Knight's Tale, decided to sprawl himself out on the steps in front of our stage. And, he didn't realize that his kilt I don't think he was wearing a sporin.
Nobody knows. And it's just hilarious when you see these people like, oh yeah, that means that I can just, spread all over the place. And you're like, friend, I just want to let you know. And sometimes, depending on whether or not they're a kind person, if they're checking their phone in the middle of my show, I'll be like, hey, friend, who's on their phone right now? I just want to let you know that I can see literally everything under your kilt right this minute.
David, just wait until we can get interactive again. We're waiting for this plague. If everyone can get the vaccines and get themselves wearing masks so we can get the plague under control.
85% of Pennsylvania is officially vaccinated today. I got the alert from Governor Wolf.
What percent?
85% has at least received the first
dose. Good job, Pennsylvania.
Yay, Pennsylvania.
Now we just got to get some other states up to.
Well, speaking of our fan in Maryland, segue, I think it's time to show a video of our Maryland ladies.
Ooh,
so this will be me, Fraulein Elsa, as well as Sultana Laila and Lady Gwendolyn performing in our opening weekend at Maryland. And I do believe this is one that we write our own verses to. So Maryland became known for our verse writing skills. During the pandemic, since we started offering verses online for you to purchase, which, by the way, are still available at all times. They're available for purchase in garb or out of garb. You can get a verse for your loved ones. There you go. Buy a personalized verse. But in Maryland and most of our festivals now, if in the festival, we will offer verses for you for just £5 in person. And we have to write them for you that day in person. That can be extremely difficult. But it became very popular in Maryland, and we wrote several verses for several fans. We wrote, offered at the beginning of the day, and then we sang it at our final show. So this, I believe, is My Thing Is My Own, all with verses written by the ladies of Chase Treasure.
Yay!
I
Exciting.
think we should sing them a verse song. I think so as well. You see, since I just showed them how I reached my own moment of ecstasy, perhaps we should sing a song about reaching our own moments of ecstasy.
Hey, actually, that's a good segue.
I learned how this works.
So, know you not, or know you do, we write a lot of verses to a lot of our own songs. So this next particular song is a traditional, but we write all the verses ourselves, which you can also have for yourself. For only £5, we can write a verse for you or a loved one and perform it at our final set of the day.
Yes.
So, just something to think about. £5 to embarrass your friends and family on camera.
So this song is about ladies taking care of themselves. I, a tender young maid, have been courted by many of all sorts and trades, if ever was any. A spruce haberdasher first spoke of me fair, but I would have nothing to do with small ware. My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will. My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will. A butcher once sang to me chorus and verse, how I should behold his massive bratwurst. But him I'll ignore till he proves he can think of something besides the size of his link. My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will. My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will. A cunning clockmaker did court me so well, and promised me riches if I'd ring his bell. I looked at his clockwork and said with a shock, "You pendulum's much too small for my clock." My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will. My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will.
A cunning young wizard with kick that did swish did promise to conjure whatever I wished. He presented his wand, to which I did laugh. My cauldron won't simmer with such a small staff.
My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will. My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will. Now here I could reckon 100 or more, besides all the laggards recited before, that made their advances to get me alone. Though young though I am, I'm more skilled on my own. My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will. My thing is my own, and I'll keep it so still, yet other young lasses may do what they will.
Yes.
That was so much fun. I love the three of you together with so much color. Like, it's just so fascinating to look at. You look visually very interesting all the time. And I loved that. I didn't think of that when I put the three of them together, and I was like, oh, look at them now.
It's like a
so
Crayola
excited.
box.
Yeah, it is. So many different colors. This is when you get like the exciting crayon box from your family instead of like the boring crayon box of like,
No rose art, only Crayola.
Yes.
True.
Yes, thank you so much, Fraulein Elsa. Lady Pat. The benefits of becoming part of our Patreon, patreon.com/Chase Chase Treasure. You must type it in because
to
we are
type it in.
rated PN. If we're an 18 plus, they don't make you searchable for some reason.
Here it is.
If you join us at patreon.com/Chase Treasure, you can become a patron of the arts. We will gladly be your pets and do things for you.
Are you doing a doggy style with Deborah?
Oh Lord.
She won't let me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's
I'm
been
sorry.
trying all
Yeah,
weekend.
it's just-
It's not even the weekend yet, but
I
it
know.
seems like
Yeah,
it's-
right.
It might as well.
But yes, we will gladly write you personalized letters, personalized verses, and at our highest level of Patreon, you can have Chase Treasure perform in your own backyard. That you must be a patron for the entire year. But we
We're
will
working
gladly
on
send
that
it
for
to
a lot
you.
of people at this point, actually. I got to work on those details.
Call us, become a sponsor. This show sponsored by Crayola.
Crayola and
Big
banana
rainbow.
splits. I tell you what, if somebody
Skittles,
in a, like an
rainbow.
ice cream or water ice venue could possibly be our sponsor, because we always describe ourselves as ice cream flavors. Like, I'd really love if like an ice cream place could be like, I got you. Like, yes.
And seriously, if you want to be a sponsor, like we mentioned earlier, actual sponsorship of Ladies Unlaced, the sponsorship covers the cost of the editing program that I use for the show. It sponsors part of the streaming program we use for the show. Little bits and pieces all help make this show possible for you at home. And once the Renaissance season is over, you're going to want to see us online. You know you are.
Okay. So, Rev Tommy, I just want to say, every time I'm like, ooh, I got a great idea for a tour shirt, then I end up booking like 2 other festivals. And I'm like, well, that went out the window. I don't have enough space for anything anymore. So every time I think that this is going to go, it's not happening. So this might happen at the end of the year just because everyone is booking last minute this year.
Well, it
I
should
do.
be the end of the year, Lady Morgan. It should be the entire 2021 season, which goes all the way until December 31st.
I want a shirt.
Join our
Also-
Patreon at the whatever level, $25 level. I don't 75. I don't know. Some level.
Now, I will,
Something.
there we
Yeah, I
go.
don't know.
The
They're
Spreadshirt
all
link
listed.
did change. Yes, it is now
Oh.
shop.spreadshirt.com/chase.
That's the new one.
Ah.
And there's a
looked it up.
discount code. There's a
And there is a
discount code right
discount.
now.
So you too can be questionably chased
Ooh, ooh,
like my bosoms.
ooh. Or
Mine's
like
the All Heart
Morgan.
Chase Treasure. Yes. And this can go,
Woo!
this logo can go, I think it's a little bit more purple now.
It is.
This can go on t-shirts or sweatshirts or all different kinds of things. And I have, I believe Lady Julie is going to start working on revamping the site with more colors and more customization options, all kinds of things. So hopefully soon we'll have even more stuff. But for now,
Nice.
if there's something on the website that you want to order, you might as well order it at 20% off. Why
And
not?
you can actually customize your own shirt. This is a customized shirt. Being a more curvy girl, I decided to customize mine. You can use the logos that we have up there right now, but this is an option that if you click on customize that you can find. I've actually been wanting to put together one just for Fraulein Elsa that says, remember, wash your hands.
Oh, I remember that from when we were
I'm going to
releasing
get
videos
that
about
done, I
washing hands.
swear, by Christmas time. So
Do it.
we'll have Elsa wash your hands options for you.
Yes,
I'm
and
going to design it.
personalized
I promise you.
The one that looks like the one that Elsa has on. I got one that says Chase Treasure on it, but on the back I wrote Lady Rosaline, like it's a tour shirt or like a sports jersey.
Ooh.
I
This
love
one
it.
has, I mean, I wrote it myself, but you can't see it. It does have Morgan. I wrote Morgan in.
I'm
like,
not wearing
Sharpie
one of
on
mine.
it.
I'm wearing one that I was gifted.
Listen,
That's
all the
lovely,
ladies
though.
of Chase
Oh,
Treasure may
nice.
play for different teams,
Oh,
but
those
we're
are
all
sizes
part of the
as well.
Chase Treasure team. So Lady
Okay.
Rosaline, yes.
I love it. I have a question
It's hitting.
Another one.
specifically about Chase Treasure.
Yes.
All right.
If a young lady
Cough,
was
cough, wink, wink.
interested in becoming a lady,
Ooh.
how does she go about auditioning?
No, Rosaline.
What?
That's the first step, apparently.
Wait, what? No,
That's
lady.
not true. Not every
that
lady
makes
knows.
sense.
Everybody. That's
That's
not
one
true.
done.
All right. So a lot of the times, the people that we end up getting from varying festivals are people who already perform at festivals. That's not absolutely a requirement, but often it's people who have already done performances at other festivals. Because as you can tell, there are a lot of things that go into it, like the heat
We
exhaustion.
steal people real good.
Oh yes. I think
In fact, Lady Katya belongs to, I think, 6 different
many.
At
festivals?
least 3.
So many.
Whatever, 70.
Yeah. She belongs to it. Vixen's on Guard and Crimson Pirates and Greatest Pirate Story. Yes.
And,
So is not Madeline? What was her name?
And us.
Yes. Us now. Yeah, and that is actually surprisingly more common than you might think at this point. Burying festival acts do kind of a similar thing that we do, where they will hire many different people depending on where they are. Specifically, the Washerwell Wenches have a number of different people that they have trained who have previously worked at other festivals, who they then hire to be at that festival, but working with the Washerwell Wenches. So it's not entirely uncommon. Margaret. Yes, Margaret has done Crimson Pirates as well. That's correct. Thank you.
But I would say that that's not necessarily the only way that one becomes a treasure.
Absolutely
It's
not.
more if we have a need. Unless I'm speaking for you, Lady Morgan.
No,
But
absolutely
when we
not.
have a need for a new lady, Lady Morgan, she has a festival and she tries to staff from the ladies we currently have. But there have times, that's how we got Lady Julie and Lady Gwendolyn in the first place, is we didn't have enough ladies who were available to leave for 6 weeks in Oklahoma.
We were doing 4 festivals at 4 or 5 at the same time.
It is 4. I think the 4 is the most we've ever done.
It was New Jersey, Hampton, Oklahoma, and
Montana. Yeah, Montana
all at the same
happens
time
one
one
weekend.
weekend. So.
And it was very difficult. Yeah. Lady Merrin too, that Rev Tommy also mentioned. She used to work at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, and that's how I met her. And then people have been involved that way. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person who has previously worked at Renaissance Fair, but that does certainly help. The biggest thing that I need in general is just people who can do shows that are on the road. That's the biggest thing. We're starting to book things in all different kinds of states. I mean, I'm about to do a Louisiana show. There were shows that we booked this year in, Maryland. This was our first year. Maine, it was our first year. There's a lot of other festivals that have
one in
started to book.
Alabama.
Oklahoma, a lot of different
Missouri.
places. Right, Missouri was new. Washington State was brand new this year as well. I think we booked like 6 or 7 brand new festivals this year. The biggest thing is we need to be able to tour. That's tour.
And to have women who can harmonize.
Improvise.
Not harmonize, improvise, but going back to the harmonize though, sing in tune together a cappella, because there's something that's different about an a cappella group than there is about an instrumental group that has singers.
Right.
I know plenty of talented singers who can sing with a piano or can sing with an instrument, but can't maintain in an a cappella group.
Right.
And so all of our ladies bring different things to the table.
Absolutely.
We have ladies who are excellent singers and harmonizers. We have ladies who are excellent improvisers. Some are better at one thing than the other, but we all bring something different to the group.
And speaking of, I believe the 3 of us are some of the strongest singers, hence why we lead these trios and music.
That is very true. We are very
and the 3
strong
of us
singers.
got to perform together, which was insane.
This never happens. This never
I know.
happens because we always end up doing at least 2 shows simultaneously. So most of the time I'm like, all right,
we're always
Rosaline, you got to
leaving
go somewhere else. Yeah.
So we all got to perform together in Maine, and we got to workshop this song, which I think had only been sung like maybe once before, but I feel like we
had done it online, and I think you did it at the New Jersey concert.
But I think we really nailed it. And,
so you're debuting this.
Well, I mean, it's been debuted several times since then, but it's been a big hit. And like, we asked people at Pennsylvania if they wanted to hear this or Battle Raven, and they picked this.
Really?
So this is from the 3 of us at the Maine Renaissance Fair.
As arranged, and I believe the lyrics were done by our Contessa Catalina, yes?
As most of our
with slight adaptations since then.
So this was adapted by her, and this is Holding Out for a Himbo. Enjoy.
Like a load of adventure. Yes. Like Randy Sue that you stepped over earlier today.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps
Actually, doorstop.
He was wondrous. So perhaps what we would like to call a himbo.
Himbo.
You want to see? We have a whole song. We have a whole song about it.
Perhaps it will make sense then.
Yes. And for the children out there, when we say the word balls, we mean juggling balls.
It does not bode well when this needs clarification.
I think you like it. It's gonna be great, guys. Okay. all the good men gone, the past has left me sore. Where's the grand and gallant man to rival mighty Thor? Isn't there a white knight, supportive and naive? Late at night I wish my dream would come true if I believe. I need a himbo. I'm holding up for a hymn until the day is through. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be sweet with a lower than average IQ. I need a himbo. I'm holding up for a hymn until the morning calls. He's gotta have heart and he's gotta be brave with proverbial biceps and balls. Biceps and balls. Somewhere at the midpoint between Sweetie Pie and Jacques comes a dream poet with the force to cause an aftershock. Thicker than the old oak tree and sweet as apple pie. Who needs a Superman with a himbo by my side? I need a himbo. I'm holding up for a himbo till the day is through. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be sweet with a lower than average IQ. I need a himbo. I'm holding out for a himbo till the morning calls. He's gotta be hard and he's gotta be brave with proverbial biceps and balls. And really tall. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. And when my day is totally sad, and it won't be good, he's better than smile in my bed. With the pain and the love in the past, something I know he's waiting for me with food and with hugs. With food and with hugs, with food and with hugs, with food and with I need a himbo. I'm holding up for a hymn until the day is through. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be sweet with a lower than average IQ. I need a himbo. I'm holding up for a hymn until the morning calls. He's gotta have heart and he's gotta be brave with proverbial biceps and balls. No brain at all. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. I need a himbo.
My God. Oh, I'm sorry. You ladies are ridiculous. I can't take it. I can't take it.
Oh my lord.
That
You know
was
what?
amazing.
Since Deborah
was
can't
so
take
fast,
it anymore,
though.
I
We
think
don't
we
do
should
it that
wrap it
fast.
up.
Oh my
You
god.
know,
Oh,
this is too
Lord.
much.
That is it, y'all. Yes, himbo. We all need a himbo.
Oh yes, absolutely. And this
should
has
have
gone
seen her.
spectacular every time. Every
Ladies,
single show
I'm
that
sure
we
you
performed
could
this
see
at.
her backstage underneath here, but the people who are watching couldn't. This woman here is like lying on me, cackling the entire time. Did you just say extremely tall? I said yes, I did. And
that was awesome.
Came,
and the kazoo, she played the. I was done.
that was Lady Morgan's idea.
Yeah, I have a kazoo that I normally carry around in my bosom,
I
and then
actually
sometimes I'll just
still
blow
have your
myself for fun.
kazoo.
Brilliant.
Yay! I got a second
Brilliant.
one. Don't worry.
Done. I'm done. I'm done. I
Oh,
can
well,
sleep.
ladies,
I can sleep well tonight.
there you go. Since Deborah's done, I feel like we should wrap things up. Thank you all so much for coming out today. Remember, most of us are in the middle of not doing any festivals right now. So please, if you'd like, please send us a tip to paypal.me/chased treasures so we can pay our
And-
bills.
Or
All
feel
of those
free to-
options are still available. You can become a member of Patreon. You can sponsor our shows. There's so many ways to show us ladies love.
I
We
will say
really
specifically
love
with-
you for continuing to support us during the pandemic and giving us a
Specifically
reason
with
to
Patreon,
perform.
Patreon has been really, really crucial in doing things like reordering CDs that we keep selling out of. That has been really, really helpful to be able to have that kind of cash flow coming in. So I can say, oh, all right, I need to rush order a bunch of CDs that we've run out of for this particular show. So that's been, thank you so much for all of our Patreon subscribers for doing that for us. That has been really, really helpful in this particular situation.
And also, just coming up soon, we do have our next show of Ladies Unlaced with the ladies from the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival on October the 8th.
And
we have
live. Ooh, we've got
In
the
person.
In person, we've got the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival running October 2nd through October 10th. And Elsa, where Morgan will be, and Elsa will be at the Southern Indiana Renaissance Festival Celtic Fling. That's not a mouthful. On October 9th and 10th.
with
So
Lady
those are
Catherine and Sultana Lila.
Nice. So those are the next 2 live festivals coming up.
And we do have TutorCon coming up, but it is officially sold out.
TutorCon
correct?
sold out. So unless you got your tickets already, you're not going to see me there.
But
Think
if
about it
you
next
did, you'll see myself, Lady Rosaline, and Lady Catherine.
It's going to be Muppet Central. Yes. With Volgamoot, apparently. It's going to be weird. So please do join us. Continue to support us. If you have any more videos, photos, whatever, we love to see them. I'm currently, that's me, updating our YouTube page. So I just updated and added a bunch new videos from the New Jersey Renaissance Fair and one from Oklahoma. I'm still going through Oklahoma stuff. And hopefully the videos from tonight will be uploaded as well. Elsa, cough, cough.
After this weekend,
after this weekend, because we're busy. But yes, so thank you all so much for continuing your support of Chase Treasure. We love all of you. You love all of us. There is mutual affection, as Shakespeare doth say.
And thank you so much for letting this new to Renaissance person ask your question.
Was it painful popping your cherry?
Oh my God, it was so exciting. I am so excited.
You got to come to a real one now. Now that
I need
taken care
to.
of.
Definitely.
Until we get to see you again, I have been Fraulein Elsa von Berg.
I'm Lady Rosaline Howard.
I'm Lady Morgan of Spencer.
And together we are
Chase
Treasure!
Lady Catherine and beautiful footage ending.
You have been watching an episode of Chaste Treasure, Ladies Unlaced. Thank you to all of our fans for your continued support of the live arts. And a special thank you to our sponsors. If you would like to sponsor an episode of Ladies Unlaced, please email chasetreasure@gmail.com.